Hello and welcome to this edition of Self-Care Saturday. Today on Self-Care Saturday, I am going to talk with you about something that is not exactly the most popular subject. I'm going to talk to you about getting old. And yes, when we get old, everything changes and our perspective changes. Our way of relating to people changes. We look at them in the mirror and we may see a different person as we age. And I remember there is this great comedian who tells a joke about having gone to sleep the night before, and then he wakes up and he says, everything hurts, so maybe my bed hurt me and I gotta go back tonight. So it's the reality of getting old. However, getting old is also a privilege. It means that we've made it. It means that we have so much to be grateful for. We have life. We can relate. We can learn. We can experience. And so when I think about getting old, and I look at myself in the mirror, the practice, the challenge, the process is one of really honoring the experience, honoring the life. Instead of seeing, the marks on my body or, the gray hair or the thinning hair or the wrinkles, I can see that they mean that I have lived, that I have loved. They mean that I have stories to share. Each part of our body that has aged has stories to share. So, when I think about getting old and then I think about celebrating that, one of the things that makes that really difficult is that in our culture, we don't really have a way of embracing and celebrating people with experience, people who have lived, the wise ones, the elders. We often don't hear about that. All that we hear about is youth and activity and accomplishment. And these are not the characteristics of a life of elderhood. In my life, I don't feel like a maiden anymore. Certainly, I don't feel like a damsel. I don't feel like I have all the energy in the world. I don't feel like starting businesses or traveling the world or doing all of that. Also, I don't feel that I am in my motherhood years. My motherhood years came through stewarding two amazing dogs for many, many years, and also nourishing and nurturing people in my life whom I loved and relationships. But I realize I'm not in my motherhood years either. So I'm not a maiden, I'm not a mother. I am in the cronehood stage of my life. The wise elder, the wise woman who has loved and has lost and has grieved and has celebrated and who witnesses and encourages and celebrates youth and children and marriages and the continuation of life. In our culture, that does not get celebrated. So that's a challenge. But as when the aches and pains come, when I realize, I used to do that no problem before, and now it's like, everything hurts. When that happens, I am training myself to remember, yes, it comes at a price, but also it comes with stories and experiences and accomplishments and with the great blessing and the great boon that it is to still be alive and be able to breathe and taste and love and make a difference, make an impact. Happy Self-Care Saturday.